So Chef, if you could just state your name, age, and current position at the school.
Age? Chef Diperri. I'm 55 years old, and I've been teaching here since 1986. Probably longer than you've been alive. And what else?
How exactly did you get started in the industry? Like, where were your first jobs and who were your first chefs?
I started as a 15-year-old kid working in a private country club when I was home in Massachusetts. My next door neighbor was the sous chef of the country club, and he knew that I was interested in working in a kitchen. I had family that was in the restaurant business. My mother's best friend was a restaurant owner. And so as a young kid, I would go in there and I would help set up tables and boss and do little things in the dining room which got me interested and sparked an interest that I just couldn't put away, and that's how I got started.
You went to the CIA, so how do you remember it, and what do you think has changed the most since your time here?
Every single class that I had was 7 days. So it was intense learning, and it was a lot of stuff that we had to memorize. We didn't have the luxury of all kinds of IT equipment like you guys have today. So we went to school back in the old days when basically the adage was, what goes around comes around. That's how the teachers were taught, and that's how they taught us. So we had to be very thick-skinned and very prepared every single day. So and they would ask us questions, and we didn't have notebooks and note cards to refer to. We had to memorize. So that's how very much different it was.
It's a different world. Among the chefs who you had there, who would you say was your biggest influence on you?
I think the restaurant chefs at the time, Chef Bernard, Chef Diperri, they were our restaurant chefs. And as students, we were all looking very forward to working with them in the public restaurants here at school.
You graduated 88?
77.
77,
President Ryan and I were classmates.
Really?
Yes. I worked for a sous chef from the country club who became manager of a food service company called Saga Foods. And I worked in a camp cooking strictly kosher 3 meals a day for 450 kids. So I got a lot out of big production, and I learned a lot as far as kosher cuisine was. So that was very interesting to me.
What campus activities would you suggest to new students coming in?
Any of the clubs are all very, very good. If you're old enough, the wine and ale societies are very, very good. Gourmet society is good. Service club is very good because you really get to connect with a lot of people from the outside. So get involved. That's the thing.
Okay. And any other words of advice you'd like to give to incoming students or aspiring chefs?
For everybody that comes in, I think the thing that you have to pay attention to is don't get behind in your studies. It has a tendency to snowball, and it becomes very difficult to get out from underneath it. Another thing is when you finally reach the last class you're here, which is the public restaurants, is really put your best effort forward. The last thing you want to do is show the chef that you're just giving him a 2-week notice attitude. Very important. This is the class where you're supposed to shine, not be dragged through. And it's all about personal pride. If you have personal pride, you're going to want to do a good job. You're not going to get that 2-week notice attitude. If you get that 2-week notice attitude, you're probably going to take that attitude with you to your first job. And then you're probably not going to last very long. So watch out. Be careful of that.
Okay. So thank you very much, Chef, and we'll be seeing you soon.